Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go, Richmond Raceway, as we get ready for race number 13 of what has been a wild Season 6. As tonight we hit the Commonwealth in the state of Virginia, and tonight's Richmond Rock and Roll 200 on the Captain Esports Network. I am the captain. We welcome you in to this 3/4 mile shaped track as we have ourselves a battle on our hands. 2 races to go. Of course, tonight here at Richmond, next week in Homestead, before we crown ourselves a champion in Season 6. But not only that, but also an overall champion for 2023 in the All-American Cup Series season. So some great racing still yet to go. And obviously the short track here at Richmond, which, by the way, has been playing some tricks on these drivers as the nighttime starts to fall and so on and so forth here in this race. But right now we're going to go qualify for the series penultimate race, if you will. And before we do that, we, of course, got to give a shout-out to our sponsor for the Pole Award tonight, MHD Pole Award, Mike Husby Designs. Of course, Mike doing a bunch of paint schemes. He's got the Wrigley Double Mint car on his number 19 tonight, the Double Your Pleasure ride, if you will. And, of course, his teammate, Casey Carrington, the boss man, has the old 2005 Dodge of Casey Canes that got his first career win here at this track back in 2005. And then, of course, the 12 car of Josh Dillon has the, per usual, Surge Mobile. As we watch Nick Terrell in the Doritos car just send it in there a little deep there as he tries to get a run off the top side to make his pole run here. As Terry Frere looks like he's going to set the bar here to see where we are qualifying-wise. Track record was a 2180, I think it is, somewhere like that on the Cup side in real life. And that was Kevin Harvick did that back in 2019, and that, of course, was in the Gen 6. Casey Carrington, 22-22 right now, has gone to the pole. Here's Mark Whitley, jumps up 22-17. Let's see if I can, yeah, I got some cooperation. Look at that. Out of my timing and scoring. Heller up there with a 21, but that's the second lap for a lot of these guys. The times have actually slowed down from practice as Carrington runs at 21. Of course, Whitley is 16 as Kyle Ethier here in this Marion Dodge Charger. You see these cars come sliding off of turn number 4 as he crosses the line. And he'll go to 7th fastest, 22:38. What else we got out here? Here's Josh Dillon going to cross the line in the 12 car. Let's see what he can do here. As Josh goes 22:33 to P5. There's James Silvers in the Real Tree number 17. And Zach Henry 22:16. And he must be on the low end of the thousandths estimation, which gives him the 16. Whitley actually on timing and scoring is a 17. So obviously the difference in the 1,000 category could be simply a 4 to a 6 or whatever. But Henry obviously barely defeating Whitley in that category right now. Unfortunately, I don't have the access to the thousandths or 10,000ths from iRacing as we watch the 20 of Jordan Owens. Jordan right now 9th at a 22:47. He and Stephen Miles on track right now. They're going to pretty much cross the line back to back here. Owens going to cross first. And then Miles immediately afterwards. Owens goes to 5th. Miles to 8th. And the only cars that are yet to qualify here, as we still got a minute and a half, will be Thomas Stanley and Matthew Weeks. And Weeks is actually, looks like, slowly coming out to the track. Here he comes in the Mountain Dew number 11 car. Goes up to the top side, going to try to carry the momentum off the corner here of this D-shaped track. I was worried about you, Mr. Pierce, so much that I didn't even remember you were here until just now. As Weeks going to cross the line to throwaway lap, has him P12, 22:49. Rotates that bottom pretty well. Drives it straight off the corner. Weeks going to cross the line. He's green, not purple. How about third? 22:19. So Zach Henry going to win another pole this evening. So congratulations to Zach. He'll be the MH Design Pole Award as we go into the 5-minute warm-up session, which you can almost call our pre-race show as we always do. But a big shout out to MH Designs for sponsoring the Pole Award as the warm-up starts. And we get ourselves ready for the race by showing you the point standings as we enter tonight's penultimate round. Round number 13 of 14. And of course, it's round number 27 of 28 overall. But first, let's show you the standings in the Season 6 as Mark Whitley has put it in another gear basically these last couple of weeks. He has pulled away from Casey Carrington and could actually walk away tonight with the championship if he's able to do what he has been doing. As a matter of fact, he's done over half the time this season. Let's go to victory lane. Even a top 5 finish tonight could potentially put him in the championship column here tonight. Carrington there second, tied with Zach Henry. Matthew Weeks there in third, or I should say fourth, and then Stephen Miles right there behind him. Christopher Heller holding on there in the 6th spot. So that is where we sit right now in season number 6 for the point standings. Team points right now, 25-11, pulling away here from TI with an 84-point advantage. CX2 is third in points, and then everybody else pretty much down the board from there. So right now, still a 3-person show, and even when I say that, I think 25-11 has pretty much got this wrapped up unless some kind of major catastrophe happens on that side of things. Rookie of the Year standings, that is pretty much wrapped up as Kyle Ethier leads by 17 now over J.W. Miller, who is, well, if anybody knows where J.W. is, please let us know. He's probably got some school stuff or something going on in real life, but so it looks like Kyle Ethier going to be Rookie of the Year here in season number 6 for the standings. And last but not least, Chevrolet looks like they're going to clinch the manufacturer title. So pretty much everything is all but set. However, as they say, you still have to play the game. You still have to race. Anything can happen here after 200 laps here at the what was called the action track. And lately it's not really been the action track anymore, but still don't mean Richmond. It's still a favorite for people to drive on and that kind of thing. So we'll see what kind of quote-unquote action we get here this evening in the All-American Cup Series season. Now, one thing I do want to do really quickly here, let me click over to the main points for the season itself, because we actually have ourselves a fight on our hands here for this championship. It might be the one championship, actually, that is not close to being decided. And it, of course, being the overall points. Just give me a second here. I got to pull out the old Snip and Sketch app that I use for cutting things. For those who don't know, it's probably the most useful app that you actually use on your computer. A lot of people don't even know about it. Gotta do the production work too. All right, here we go. Points right now, and check this out. Christopher Heller leads by 6 over Matthew Weeks, and then Casey Carrington's only 23 back. Stephen Miles only 53 back. So there's, you could say, probably 3 people in the running for this. I don't want to count Miles out yet, but he's right on the edge of it if he is. So that is where we sit right now. That's your top 10. And that is all 26 races that have been ran this season on the board there for you. So, have who has scored the most points here this season. All right, so we still got about a minute or so to go. Let's go grab our pole sitter here tonight. That being the driver of the 39 car, Zach Henry. Gets himself another pole here this evening at the Richmond Raceway. Zach, congratulations on the pole. Of course, you and Casey battling pretty hard right now for that points, second in points battle. And not to mention tonight going out here on a track that is pretty slick and pretty tough, and gonna have your hands full here with this track and with these with the field.
Thank you, and for sure, it's the back end slide around a lot, especially on newer tires, and then Chris and I did a little bit of a long run, and I felt like we were having two separate issues just based on how we were driving. So I guess depending on how hard you're getting through the corner, how much corner speed you carry, and how hard you're mashing the throttle off can determine whether you're going to be, really loose or really tight as the run goes on.
Are you noticing a pretty big transition? I've been hearing some people talking about going from like really loose at the beginning of the run and becoming really tight near the end of the run.
It's, for me, I guess in the way I drive, it's honestly fairly neutral throughout the entire run. It's definitely a little more slick at the beginning of a run, but that's really just on corner entry for me more than anything. And then as the run goes on, I actually start to get a little bit tight, especially on corner entry and through the center. And then ultimately it just comes down to how hard I'm mashing the throttle on corner exit to determine whether or not I'm getting loose there. But it'll be a fun race for sure. Hopefully we can keep it clean and get some log runs here, because I think it'll be cool to see what some people are going to be doing in terms of what lines they're running and how they're getting through the corners and stuff.
Absolutely. Well, hey, best of luck here to you and the 2511 team, and let's see if we talk in a little bit.
I hope so. You have a good one.
You too, bud. Zach Henry, the pole sitter here tonight, of course, presented by MH Designs. Congratulations again to him on getting the pole here this evening. Starting
Hi, everybody,
lineup.
as always. Thanks for coming out tonight. Appreciate you guys.
Before Casey says something, we go like, let me mute that real quick. As Henry on the pole alongside Mark Whitley, who's been the dominant one, 4/1000ths of a second, separating first from second. Matthew Weeks and Christopher Heller will start there. Row 2. Row 3, Casey Carrington, Jordan Owens. Row 4 is Jackson Van Pelt and Josh Dillon, Stephen Miles, and Sean Cassidy there in row 5. Row 6, Kyle Ethier and the debuting Jonathan Smith getting the ride in the second car. That is the team car to Mark Whitley. That Harpoon Designs car, I should say. He'll be starting there in the 12th position. Of course, last time we saw the second Harpoon Design car on track, it ended up finishing right behind Mark Whitley a couple weeks ago at Kansas, I believe. So we'll see if Jonathan can back that up tonight. Terry Freer and James Silver starting in row 7. Craig Martin, Mike Husby in row 8. Jake Vanowski and Nick Terrell in row number 9. Justin Ray, Thomas Stanley, row 10. Dylan Rosenberg making his second start tonight alongside Nick Leo. Will start in the 69 car in the 22nd position. And for some reason, I'm looking at Leo's car. That is a very generic iRacing paint. So, kind of curious if something didn't work out for him. Race information tonight. It's, again, race 13 of the 6th season. We're at 76 degrees, track temp at 78. That's going to obviously go down as we're into the nighttime here. It actually will go up for a little bit because of the track heating up. 57% humidity under cloudy skies in Henrico County, Virginia. 200 laps, 150 miles. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. They're online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com as the green waves in Richmond. Everybody clean off turn 2. Whitley going to carry that top side. I did hear a little bit about that top side maybe coming to life in the longer run, but Whitley made it work on lap 1. Henry is settled into second. Teammate Christopher Heller there in third. Matthew Weeks and Carrington, your top 5. Let's go back here to the 8th position as Josh Dillon under attack. The 07 of Jackson Van Pelt right there with him. Sean Cassidy in the 49. There's Stephen Miles in the 1. Back straightaway here, very tricky. That is almost calamity corner at this track. You go into turn 1, and you can kind of ease into the corner and just let it roll through. But then turn 2, the turn narrows up. And you see a lot of cars usually get the outside wall there. If you see some 3 wide, normally you'll see a car come off the wall and create a wreck. I mean, look right there, it funnels down. And then you come down to turn 3, and it's almost straight into the corner. And right back out onto the front straightaway, where later in this race, you're going to see cars not full throttle on the front stretch at all until you get about halfway down it, because, I mean, that curve and worn out tires, I mean, it's a turn. You're turning the whole entire front straightaway. Matthew Weeks, 4th position, battling Casey Carrington. Casey trying to be sneaky, and he asked me about this, and he's seen people do this, so you look down here. This is obviously not Casey Carrington, to my knowledge. You see how the car getting a little bit free on entry there. He turns the wheel center and then starts to get in the yaw a little bit there off the corner. You see how he's got to be very careful on the front straightaway here. Backs up turn 1, turns the wheel here to let the car rotate through. And drive it as straight as you can off of turn 2 there. Down the back straightaway, you can go straight into 3. And then right here, you almost want to paint the yellow line all the way around and then straight off the corner. And that sounds weird because you're curving the whole entire time. Straight off that corner. All right, he's going to hate me for saying this, but I have no clue who that is in the photo. I don't know if that's a celebrity or something or some kind of joke. Oh, one car getting loose back there. That is Jonathan Smith, the 72. And others, Craig Martin getting involved also. And a caution is out for the first time, and the first not clear of the night. I'm in 72 here. He tried to fight it all the way around. Craig Martin nowhere to go. Nick Terrell nowhere to go. Saw Leo there. Watched. I hear a little back and forth going on here, but I'm going to have to sort of disagree with what I'm hearing here in the chat. That's for sure. Ethier felt that the 72 cut across his nose. So let's see if that's what we see here. Unfortunate deal there. I don't know. That's a tough one to call. Top down, please. What? Oh, I got you. Yeah, I had to switch cameras. I was trying to... Because remember, the onboard cameras I have to adjust to on Friday nights. Casey Carrington was cool enough to do all those onboard cameras for the Gen 4 car. So I have to adjust myself to the regular car at that. So I had to remember which one's like the rear car and what's what. Because it all worked out. I saw more racing incident there. I saw Ethier make a late move in there. I saw Smith there, but I saw Kyle look like maybe slide a little bit there. So I don't know. That's a tough one to call. Green flag back out. Whitley leading. Henry, Heller, Weeks, and Carrington. Three wide as Silver sends it in there on Husby. Yikes. Those are friends, I think, in the same channel on Discord here. Look at that real quickly. No, they're not in the same channel, thankfully. Somebody might be yelling at somebody. Stephen Miles in the one car, just kind of hanging tight here a little bit. Running in the 11th position behind Silvers. Husby in that 19 car there also. as Silvers goes up the track. Now, one thing we should talk about here this evening is the pit strategy for these cars. Remember, this series does not do 100% fuel. Because obviously you'd immediately think that you can run these cars over 100 laps on a tank of fuel. No. It's actually only 75 laps on a tank of fuel. So this is going to be a two-stop race. So the window should open up right about lap 50. And if you remember all those classic Xfinity Nationwide Busch Series races here back in the heyday, remember you get those races where cars would come to pit road with like 90 laps to go and you wouldn't see them on pit road again, as track position would mean so much. But here I think with tire wear and obviously talent levels and stuff like that, tire wear is gonna, I think having tires the latest in the race are going to play a pretty big role. As Weeks gets past Carrington for the 4th position. Jackson Van Pelt ride behind Carrington there, and then Jordan Owens, the 20 car, second race back from his honeymoon days. As everybody single files out, there was some talk a little bit about passing being pretty tough to do later on into a run, and that was because some of the drivers actually moved up to about the middle lane, and that made it very defensive, I guess, of a lane to use. If somebody was trying to get underneath you, they could not complete the pass with the track rubbering up the way it was and the tires getting older. Go back here is Dylan Rosenberg, the 96 car, trying to hold off to 72. That was in that first caution, unfortunately. Justin Ray in front. The 38 there, and you see that Budweiser car of Jake Vinoski. 72 needs a little blinker fluid. As Craig Martin comes to pit road in the 22 car. Cassidy and Silvers battle out now. This is back in the 8th position. Silvers is driving that car pretty hard. Nick Terrell, unfortunately, 2 laps down as he's just out there logging laps now after being involved in that accident. As this could get a little tricky in a turn 1. Nick does a good job getting out of the way in that 81 car. Up front, Whitley leads Henry by 0.3 of a second. Heller 8/10 back. Weeks still about 1.2, and in Carrington 1.5. Lap times have fallen off about 3/4 of a second already. I think that'd be really cool if eventually, I know it's a long ways out. You know, iRacing working on weather stuff right now, and of course dynamic tracks. It'd be really cool if they could find a way to code up the tires to where they fall off about what they would in real life. Because 29 laps into a race right now at Richmond, you'd be almost, what, 2 seconds off, probably? With the way the track wears out. Sean Cassidy trying to hold off Miles. Kind of has turned into a little bit of a cluster 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, all these cars right here together. Just wait till December. Okay. Is that part of the build here? Are they going to knock the tires to wear them out more? If so, these tracks are really going to become fun. The Darlingtons, the Richmonds, the... Well, yeah, the Oval Refresh is more, I think, the dynamic tracks, basically. I don't know if the tire wear is going to have anything to do with that, though. Yeah, because I remember when I was on iRacing back until middle 2017, early 17 or something like that. And they had the dynamic out. So I remember running Homestead, you were running the top of the track and all that good stuff. And then I think they reverted back to do some editing. And now we're finally going to get that finished product. As battle for third and also battle for the lead is Matthew Weeks to the inside of Season 6 or Season 5 champion Christopher Heller. Battle of drinks, Mountain Dew versus Ghost. As Heller almost got the outside wall there, but Weeks unfortunately lost his momentum as they almost get up there into each other. Good battle right here. Steve Tucker out there watching. Appreciate you, sir. Good to see you. As Weeks, I think, finally going to clear the pass, or is Heller going to make a run off the top here? Oh, that would be impressive. I mean, he had a little bit of a run there. So move Weeks up to the third position there. And you see Henry is kind of falling back off. Here tonight, Steve. Oh, I got you. Yeah, no. I saw the we out here. I figured you were out there, but I get it. Hello, Steve. Welcome in. So for those who didn't know, by the way, we are on a mission here, and I've been on a mission for a very long time, to get to 1,000 subscribers. And unfortunately, after about a year and a half, I seem to have stalled out and slowly climbed from 600 to 800 to 900, and now have, like, I am literally snail pacing to 1,000. And I know it's not because, like, I mean, at least I don't want to say I'm boring or anything like that, but I can understand, people, watch this. They want to be a part of the race and everything like that. So, that kind of thing. But I couldn't help but notice just now that we're at now 991. We are 9 away. We are Casey Carrington subscribers away. I don't want bots or anything like that, so I don't know. Could we make it? Can we make it to 1,000? I don't know about tonight, but can we get there by... See, we're in November. Christmas? Let's go back here. Stephen Miles. Oh, they got to be. Let's make them real now. Don't go and create 9 different YouTube accounts, please. Miles there trying to get around the 20 of Jordan Owens. There's Mike Husby in the 19 trying to get around the 49. There's Kyle Ethier. Got Johnston Dillon there behind him. So good little battles here going on. Let's go back up front as Matthew Weeks has now caught Zach Henry for second. So Weeks has been one of the hotter drivers also on the circuit here the last couple of weeks. Hometown track, I believe, for that 11 car. And you look at these cars just sliding. I think you're seeing a lot of tight loose, tight center, and you see the cars just kind of sliding off the corner, four-wheel drift, no forward bite at all. I mean, look, he is dog tracking through the straightaway now, so that just tells you these tires are screaming. I mean, he's got that left hand is sitting at 9 o'clock on a straight wheel. I mean, he's got that thing almost up to 11 o'clock, keeping it straight. I don't think your left hand's supposed to be that far up. Now, the thing I notice out of this, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it's almost like you have to drive the car this way to be fast. You have to literally be on a rail with a car that is just spinning the tires off the corner, or else you're going to be running back in 10th. Unfortunately for me, I'm too much of a chicken, you know what, to drive a car like that. Oh, you're diving it in there late. He might be able to cross over. Oh, he got tight. Your car's a little beaten up there too, Roger. I mean, you and Ethan are kind of got in a little argument. As the battle for second continues here, Weeks and Henry. And Matthew got to the top side on him. We're at that part of the race now where the long run is basically who can control a spinning wheeled car. Who hasn't roasted the rear tires off enough? So let me ask you this question, because I know some of you are involved in NASCAR. Some of you are just watching this race and just racing fans. Whoa, 995. Wait, what in the world? Who are these four? Excuse me, who are these four people? But question here is Richmond. What do you do with this track? Because we've seen the last couple seasons that the racing here is, I don't want to call it boring. I mean, it's racing. We love racing, but the excitement of the excitement track has gone away. Now, my personal opinion is this. I feel like this track has aged itself too much. And I feel the same was with Atlanta. I feel that I feel some of the tracks in Auto Club almost got to that point a little bit too, but they actually had a couple of good runs there at the end. I feel like they're letting these tracks wear almost too much. To where, what's the best way to put it? Think about it like a football player. You get that rookie running back that is kind of fresh, and he has his rookie times, and all of a sudden he gets those peak years that he's really good, and then you get him too long, and he's done. that's kind of what I look at it with Richmond. Is we had those years of racing that were fantastic, and now we're past that. I think. Now, yes, horsepower. I think I agree with that with everybody. I think what they're trying to do here is Thomas Stanley's coming to pit road. I think what they're doing now with the testing they're going to do at Phoenix, I think that's cool. I think something that comes to my mind that I think is a lot harder to do. I think we all know this next-gen car has too much engineering in it when it comes to grip. So I don't know outside of, as Carrington battles Henry close off turn 4. Like, yes, you could take the diffuser off. You could take whatever away to take downforce away. But it seems like for that car that it has way too much downforce. And it seems like with that way too much downforce, there's like not a lot of things you can do to take it away. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying. But it just seems like there's too much engineering downforce in the car than there was just straight the way the car was built downforce. Which then I think goes to the Nick Terrell's having all kinds of issues. Goes back to the whole, tire fall off, like you said, the shifting, big deal, that kind of thing. I don't disagree with that either. Harrington, Alex, I think, if I remember correctly. Ether gets turned back there. Husby involved. Justin Ray, look out. Hello, excuse me by Vanoski. Caution out for the second time. And right about the time we're going to see pit stops here. I think pit strategy's come into play there. I mean, the whole 50-lap pit strategy. Let's see what happens here. Husby, Dillon. Add the 96 to that. That was just one of those, you know what? That's a Richmond deal there. You got the track narrows. Fanoski, like, I guess I'll go in the middle. The track narrows up. And you got Husby kind of coming off shallow here. And you got Ethier trying to use up the track as much as he can, and there's the contact. I'm going to put that one on Richmond. I mean, come on. Show off. All right, pit stop's happening, by the way. Mike Husby stays out. Race off pit road. AC Carrington, I think, won the race off pit road. What in the world? Like, everybody get mixed up, and uh-oh. Speedy police out for the 8. Whoa. Deputy Dog done caught somebody in the 8 car. Let's go back and watch these pit stops here. 996. So, Steve, are you in, like, a Discord or something that you got a lot of friends there or something? Just curious. I do appreciate you doing this for me, though. Yeah, I just do my best every night to broadcast. I mean, I know I'm not the most, like, shout out to Mooncar. I'm not him. And then my boy Nordgar from way back in the days. I mean, him and his creativeness. I don't have that kind of creativeness in me, but at least you can hear the schooling I went to and stuff for all this. That's what I've always learned from the time in broadcasting, just be me. That's one of the first, there was 2 things I learned when I first got into radio back in 2006. And, hey, Carrington, nice run off pit road there. Beats out Weeks. 2 things I learned in radio. Number 1, don't be scared to move. 2, just be yourself. Don't be some fake shock jock guy. Hey, coming to you live. Here's the latest from T-Pain. Hey, did you see, what's his name last night in the CMA Awards? That pop singer that did a country song. That was fantastic. No, I'm not that guy. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint you. Like, I'll say that, Post Malone, I couldn't remember who it was. I hate to say it, but there are some people I've listened in other broadcasts on iRacing that I hear that what we call in radio, pukey voice. And I'm like, man, if this guy could be himself, he actually sounds pretty good. But, oh, he's going to have the pukey voice. Oh, trouble, turn 2. All right, going to come to the green here, lap number 66 after the second caution. And Casey Carrington, that Dodge squad. This looks like 2005's Cup race all over again when Kane went to victory lane. Except that's not Tony Stewart in the 11 car. That's Matthew Weeks. And that's my phone. Way to turn it off, Scal. Oh, trouble! 46 of Frere goes around. And caution going to come out for the third time. So we'll rack them up here after the third caution, but Frere gets turned. Uh-oh, Pierce, did you have something to do with this? Oh, no, he just got loose, it looks like. Everybody, great job to miss that wreck. Great job by Terry to lock it down with the cold tires. Yeah, you nailed it perfect. Actually, I'll mute myself here for a second. All right. For those who don't know what that's all about, usually every week, every broadcast you might notice it, and I'm not afraid to share it. When my daughter and wife are down in Georgia still, I'm up in Indiana now where I just moved up here. And even when we were in Georgia, we did this a lot when they weren't at the house or whatever. But when my daughter calls to say goodnight, it's usually around this time at night. So, usually I'll either do a crank it up segment or go to a commercial or whatever. Of course, I don't play commercials in this league. And, well, we were under caution, so I was like, yep, let me just, mute the mic real quick and say goodnight to the little one. So, little 4-year-old. Who knows? Maybe she'll have the voice like I have one day. You know, it's funny, Taylor, there are people that, as we come to the green here, lap 72, there are people that have raced in leagues that I've broadcasted for a couple years. And they've literally just subscribed recently. And I'm like, how have you been around this channel for so long and you just finally subscribed? Anyways, Taylor's other half there, Zach Henry in the 39, trying to make moves for the lead. Whitley back to third, which might be his worst position he's ran all season. I'm just kidding on that one. Obviously, he's been involved in a couple accidents throughout the year. Matthew Weeks there fourth. Look at Hi-Ho Silver's fifth position. Whitley just doing a good job, able to paint that yellow line to the inside and tries to complete second and going to dive it in there on Carrington for the lead. Boy, great job on entry is at 77. Slides up. Top four in points, all right there. Oh, Whitley gets a little loose on entry. That almost got bad. Thank God that was front brake and not rear brake. And you see Weeks now inside of Henry for third as these two continue to battle. Whitley driving away here, but the one thing we did see early in this race, Whitley seemed to fall off in the later part of the run. That's where Henry was able to get up to the back of his bumper before Weeks and those guys got to him. And I wonder if that's what's going on here with this 9, with the 11, with a couple of cars who are maybe backing up their corners and saving their tires a little bit for the longer run, where Whitley feels stronger on the early part of the run. Get that clean air. Oh, and Weeks goes around off Silvers. Oh, and he gets T-boned by Husby. And they come piling in. And that all started, looks like Silvers just got in there deep and turned the 11. I mean, Weeks did the right thing, locked it up. And it's like nobody stopped. I mean, you know, in defense, if I can use any kind of defense here, that is a blinding corner. As we ride with Husby here. There goes Weeks to the left, and I mean, you can't see Weeks here. And in fairness, this the A-frame right here, I mean, that's I mean, that's a tough view right there. I mean, I've been on a highway and go to make a turn, and because I can't see a car because it's right here, coming from the other way, almost get T-boned. Not saying that, obviously Husby should have slowed down or whatever here, but you still don't see him. You still don't see him. Now you see him. And there he's got him locked up. At full speed here. Yeah, he's got time to slow down. That's just tough. Because again, I mean, you don't see him until right there. But, yeah, that's just a tough spot. But then you get these guys coming in behind. The problem you have here is you go back to NASCAR Racing, NASCAR 2, those games, obviously on computer back in the day. Remember the spotter always used to say, there's a spin, in turn, whatever? You don't get that on here anymore unless you have an actual spotter. But if somebody would have, hey, spin in turn 3 here, you'd have time to back off. But instead, here they come. Whoa! A tough break for Weeks, who's one of the hottest drivers. And especially this being, I believe, his hometown track or close to his home track. I did notice the front brake. You're correct about that. All right, so Whitley's taking the outside line as we come back to the green here. How about a weekend of Turn It Up edition? Oh, Jordan Owens going around. And cautions. Cautions breed cautions. And I think for the first time in a long time, I've actually just heard somebody ask to mute their own chat. Oh, 72. Roger. These two people are happy. Hey, I told him. Yeah, in fair, I don't know if it's, I overheard Jonathan say there that he didn't think he'd break that early. That's one of those where I think it's actually more, I think Jonathan missed his mark here. I mean, because normal breaking point is about right close to that Xfinity sign right there, maybe, or right in this area here. And look where Jonathan launches in, in the corner almost. Just not that I'm laughing at the wreck there, but might have been slightly late on entry there. Wait, he wanted to lift all the way down here at... He wanted to lift all the way in turn 3? Come on now. Oh, they're asking for jokes? Quick, somebody make me an admin. I can throw some jokes to him. Let me go in here and see. Do I have access to... Ah, phooey, I'm not anymore. Oh, 72's parked for the night. I didn't even think about that. Second incident of the night, so he done, unfortunately. So Roger Pierce is jobless again. Oh, gee, wow, Steve, well done. Well done. Or should I say, oh dear. One of my go-tos for people who don't know me is if Darth Vader and Ella Fitzgerald ever got married, her name would change to Elevator. And safe to say that joke has its ups and downs. All right, a lap shy of halfway here in this Richmond Rock and Roll 200. And the leader got a super restart there at time, and Henry got, and now caution back out for the 6th time. And Terrell back here with silvers. I might have to throw some more jokes out. That's actually, I might get in trouble for that. that's oh, well done, Brantley. I'm guessing in Gibbs' shop you probably can't say something like that, can you? Oh, 81 and 17 get turned. You got the one that I saw recently. You can actually I've never no fair enough. I've never been one shy of jokes. So then one day I come across a Twitter page called Puns. If you've not had a chance to follow the Twitter page Puns, do it. And of course NASCAR Chasm's pretty good too. You a lucky guy. Yeah, but then you're independent. You got to do your own taxes, which means you got to do math. Come on. Can't do that. Or do you have your own tax guy? Oh, yeah, so the one that... The one that I read on that puns joke one day, and I've totally ran with it. So good. I said that I told my daughter that she shouldn't talk to losers, and I haven't heard from her since. Is this where the Pythagorean theorem comes into play? A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Little foil action. That's the only things from geometry I ever remember was those. There's four different triangles, right? There's the isosceles, there's two others, and there's Pocono, right? How bad do you got it? Wow. Well done, Taylor. A plus. Yeah, 2 in the deer joke category. I gotta think about that one, Steve. That one might have went over my head a little bit. All right, going back to green. Casey's going to love watching this broadcast and seeing all of us interacting. Jokes at each other. Gonna smack himself in the face. Like, ow! Stephen Miles and Heller. Justin Ray up to the 8th position. Somebody apparently had trouble shifting. Oh, wow, Brantley. That's good. Well done. Jackson Van Pelt making moves inside Sean Cassidy for 4th. As we hit the halfway point. Not sure if we're halfway started or halfway finished, but we're there. Mark Whitley's led the most laps, but we still got at least one more pit stop to make in this race. Wow. Good job, Roger. Well done. You can go up to somebody at work if you're a coffee drinker or something. And if they spill coffee, you walk up to the back. Dude, that's grounds for concern. As Van Pelt trying to hold off Miles, pinching him down pretty good. There's going to be a tough pass. I've used that one a few times, by the way. A snowman with a 6-pack. Oh, contact between the 1 and 07. Jackson's been pinching pretty good there, so you knew there's going to be a little rub in there. Judges. For Roger's joke there, judges. Not sure about that one. Nick Leo there in the suave paint scheme making a pass on the 07. You see the 12 of Josh Dillon. We're all misfits. It's all good. I need you guys around for my other leagues when I'm broadcasting. I need you guys around on Mondays. Well, every night once we get to January, but Mondays, Wednesdays, tonight's. Oh, wow, Steve. Any viewer out there with their eyes watered right now from laughing so hard? Just curious. So Van Pelt, oh, somebody smiled. Leo stuck up to the outside wall as Van Pelt goes by. There goes Owens. There goes the 12. Now, Steve, I do want to make sure you did not copy and paste that joke from, like, a Google page, did you? So the $1 million question I have here right now is how in the hell is Brantley spotting for Mark right now and trying to do these jokes with us? All right, we're off the top of the dome. I like it. Well done. I know this one. 1 Forest 1. I know that one. Caution is out as Van Pelt gets spun. I know that one. No caution 7 on the track. See, Steve, you're going to have to remind me, where have I seen you from? Are you like a part of this league or something and I just haven't noticed? Or are you just here watching tonight? Or let's watch what happens here. It looks like Josh Dillon surged it into turn 3 and pushed him. I don't know how else to put that. Leaders on pit road. Better camera. Where are we at? There we are. Remember last time Carrington launched out and got the lead off pit road here. Let's see if we can do it again. Willie said, no, sir, not this time. Henry, good pit stop on exit. And according to Casey's reaction just now, I think Henry got him. Oh, another speeding police out, and I think it's the same guy as the other time. Did Heller get a speeding penalty? Nothing wrong with that, Steve. What brought you over here? I'm just kind of curious. Like, I'm just getting to know you a little bit. By the way, Techno Wizard 69, I believe, is Nick Leo, for those curious. So Leo is actually watching the stream right now and racing. He's doing one of those rare things. Wait a minute, is this Leo's mom? I heard you really easy now. Got a face for radio. Well, hello, Mrs. Leo's mom. Or Mr. Nick's mom. Mrs. Leo, thank you. I did not know this. Nothing wrong with that. You're not the only mom. You got Heller's mom's in here. Mrs. Heller watching. Uh-oh. Might have a mom's race. Look out now. What do you think, guys? Let's put the moms in spec racers and put them on the figure 8 at Irwindale. Who's Daryl? What? Yes, here we go, back to racing. Oh no. Oh no. Is Daryl related to Zach Wilson by chance? As Carrington and Heller battle for third, so it was not Heller that got the end of line penalty. I'm not sure who did. Wait a minute. Is Steve known as Daryl? Oh my god. This is fantastic. Oh. So Henry up the second, Heller up the third as they try to chase Whitley down. This might be the most chat of a race I've had in a very long time, and I love it. Whitley's ran the fastest lap of the race. All right, for all the moms watching tonight, that sounds so weird to say. Let's try it again. Turn it up. Not only, by the way, should we shout out moms, so shout out to the veterans. Thank one of them this weekend, of course, tomorrow. Even though every day should be about them, but they at least get the one day tomorrow. It's kind of funny, Mrs. Heller said they call Chris CJ. True story. For those who don't know, my name is Chris. And it's funny because when I first got into radio, working down in Florida, my name on the radio was CJ. Which is actually funny. My wife's parents still call me that because that's how they know me, is from the radio part, not from the regular human. Even though I'm a regular human being, I mean, we all are, but you get my point. So that's exactly how it got spelled too. Right there. So Whitley leads by 0.7 of a second. We still got 70. Make that 67 laps to go. So we still got one pit stop to go in this race. Oh God, you know what's funny is when before I moved up here to do the FedEx stuff, I actually did apply for a production job up here. And it's funny, I thought I was done with radio. So literally all my radio stuff's gone. Like I could not find it in my computers. I even pulled up my dad's computer, my old computer that I used to stream on to see if I could find it. Could not find any of them. I had to literally use commercial spots that I had done for Jim Herrick, who you might know him from the if those have been over in the TI leagues and stuff. He has a company now that does shoes and stuff called 40 Racewear. I did a couple commercials for them. I used that as my demos and set it off. So if you got commercials you need read or anything, please let me know. I'll be glad to do it. So Sean Cassidy, Jordan Owens, it's a battle for 6th right here. Both of them having great runs tonight. Matter of fact, shout out to Georgia Tech. Their football team actually looking pretty spicy here the last couple of weeks, especially with that upset win over the Miami Hurricanes a couple weeks ago when Miami decided to do Miami-type things. Radio update on... Well, see, here's the problem with that. In radio, you're trained to talk to the listener like you're talking into their ears because they're listening. They can't see anything. So for me to say, hey, Nick Leo's running 8th right now, you know, a couple tenths back from Jordan Owens as they roll down the back straightaway here, and Leo running a car that's not an actual paint scheme, yada, 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 like, you're still seeing it. So I still got to paint the picture, but for TV. That's like one of the biggest misconceptions of radio to TV is when you watch like the guys at Fox and NBC and that stuff when they're doing the broadcast, they're explaining what they're seeing so that you can understand what you're watching. Where the MRN guys, the PRN guys, the IMS Speedway Network, all those guys, they have to literally call the race and like knowing you can't see anything. So that's why you always hear them say, if you ever listen to the radio part, you'll hear them say, Whitley leads by about 10 car lengths over the 39 is Zach Henry. Zach is roughly however 2.5 seconds of car lengths are. Back from Zach Henry, Casey Carrington about 10 car lengths back as he slides up the track. You know, it's like you have to literally explain everything for radio. Are you saying like I need to do it in a different voice or something? Because I do have a couple of voices I can do. Hey, look up here. As this is all going on, Zach Henry, I talked about Whitley having a better early run car. Henry has knocked it down to 0.7 of a second here. No, I can't do them right now. What do you mean mark his demand? I'm confused here. And Carrington and Miles and then these two here just continue to fight it out. I'm looking to see what other we got battles back here for the 11th position. Steve, I wouldn't. I'd be going the other way. Jackson Van Pelt's coming to pit road. See, I need you guys, like I said, I mean, I know you guys are mainly watching because you've got people you're involved with here, if it's family members or teammates or whatever. But I seriously need you guys around every night with the other viewers I have. If I could find a way to have viewers every night, the same ones, just watching all the racing that I cover and stuff, I'd be happy. That's my only wish. But I totally understand that, like, the way the world works and demographics and schedules and stuff, it's just not possible. So Heller in that Ghost, number 8. Carrington at 9, about 3.5 seconds back. You see the 07 coming off pit road. Where do you race at, Raj? And then 1 second now as Henry's fallen off a little bit from the 77. Lap times are down about 1.5. And as I look over, we pitted at lap 114 under that caution. We're at 149 now. If I do the math real quickly, that's 35. So we got about 40 more laps before. I think I still have access to your Discord page. I'm always on because I broadcast obviously almost every night. I mean, right now it's kind of dying down because of the holidays, thank goodness, because delivering for FedEx and the holidays is kind of hard for broadcasting. All right, battle for third. Here comes Carrington. Heller going to let him go. Let's see, do I have access to your page still? Son of a gun, I don't see your thing on, do I? Maybe I do. I don't know. I got too many. So Carrington gets by the 8. I thought Heller would kind of fall off, but you know what? He's hanging right there with him. Yeah, Stephen Miles in 5th, about 1.2 seconds back. Jordan Owens trailing him just a little bit. I think I might have woke the sleeping dog up because as soon as I said something about Henry catching Whitley, I think Brantley woke up and told Whitley, hey, 39's catching you, guy. I didn't even do one. I got 10 for 10. I don't even know what impression I did there. I just changed my voice up. You're looking for me to do an impression and just for me changing my voice. You thought I did one. That's great. Oh, that boy ain't right, I'll tell you what. So, hey, this is about the best battle on track here is Miles and Owen. Well, Nick can't hear me unless he's watching chat. Miles doing a good job holding off this 20. So with Whitley leading all these laps, I would have to check with Casey here. As I've pulled up the rule book just to see. I mean, there's a chance the way this is going right now that Whitley could win this championship tonight. Forty laps to go. So when do you come to pit road here for the last time? And what do you do tire-wise? Do you do 4? Do you do 2? Do you go none? I think you have to take something. As Zach Henry comes to pit road right now. So to 39, the first one in. Indoctrinated? Dude, that's too big a word. So yeah, if I see the way the points are right now, if Whitley wins this race, the championship's over with. Because you get 50 and it's a 5-point difference down, and obviously he would get max points tonight, which would put him over a 40-point advantage. So Casey Carrington, Nick Leo on pit road. Josh Dillon on pit road. There's 2 tires from Carrington. I was waiting on somebody to do it. Here comes Whitley. Oh, I would put tires on too. Here. The fall off is so great. And the track is small enough. I mean, tires will make a difference here. I mean, last week Carrington tried 2 tires and it bit him badly. Whitley's going 4 tires, it looks like. 14.6. That hands the lead to Christopher Heller. Jordan Owens second. Miles third. If you're these guys, especially maybe Miles or Ethier or Justin Ray, run this tank out. Don't pit until you absolutely have to. Well, it depends on the context you use it in. So look at this. Henry is in front of Whitley now after those pit stops. Now is just simply 3-lap separation on tires. So you wonder now, is there a balance that Henry needs to do to kind of equal out the tires here? Because 3 laps on tires can be a difference. And I don't know if Heller sees him. And I wonder if Heller's going to do any kind of hindrance here to Whitley. Classy move, he does not. Whitley gets that nose right there in that air. Here he comes. Saw Zach just slide up the track slightly there. Yeah, right there, Whitley clears him. No way, really? Did I just hit 1,000? It took all of... Wow. That's cool, man. That's... I've said it forever. Thank you to you guys for the... I've never done this for me. I've always done this for the viewers and for the racers. So to get to that number, that's awesome. So cool. Heller coming to pit road finally. All right, for this pit stop for Heller, for 1,000, I'll do this for you guys. This boy here on pit road, he's getting 4 of those tires and maybe a little bit of, what? They put gas in it and not propane? Boy, that boy ain't right, I'll tell you what. There you go. Thank you. Hank Hill just covered Christopher Heller's stop. Right there for you. All right, so Jordan O and Stephen Miles, Kyle Ethier, have still not pitted. Here comes Owens now. So that leaves Miles and Ethier, teammates there, yet to pit. I think if you're Ethier, once Whitley gets to you, you need to come to pit road at that point. Melnick's watching. Look out. Why aren't you racing, Melnick? That was an 8? Where'd all these people come from? Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Did you have to go to, did you do it there at, Northeast? Or whatever the hospital there is in Brazelton? As Miles comes to pit road. Some nice people in that hospital. Or tires and fuel, and they pull away. Notice how you did the knee surgery in the offseason of TI, huh? So Whitley has gone to the lead now. He leads by 1.3 seconds. You see Jordan Owen, the first car a lap down. He unlaps himself. So let's bring up the old... I don't get to show this too much. Let me hit the right button to do this. The old pit board. As you see where everybody pitted lap number wise, you see Ethier is still out there on the older tires. His last stop's at 114. He's there in the 4th position. And you can see where everybody pitted their last time. 163, 160, 161, 61, 2, 3. And eventually you'll see Owens and Miles, their numbers will pop up here as they pitted at lap 172. Miles at 177, Owens at 175. So they're going to have a little bit fresher tires. Unfortunately, though, at 20 laps and 22-second lap times, you do the math, it's about a second and a third a lap. Now, I've always said from the time I started broadcasting on here, you know, I've went to school for it. I did high school football games. I did some, I should say. I haven't done much. I've done some public address announcing all the way from the time I was 9 years old, believe it or not, in youth football. And I've had my chances to do my stuff. Would I love to be a NASCAR guy one day or somewhere in racing? Absolutely. And I'm not giving that up. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. We got a pass for second. Carrington passed Henry for second, as Carrington decided to blink back to next to Henry. But until then, I have my fun doing this. I do this for the racers. I do this for the viewers, because I want them to be able to come over here and enjoy themselves and know that they got somebody that will sit here and talk to you and that will not just cover the leaders only. And that's not a diss to like other broadcasters, because I'm just pointing out that there are ones that do that, and there's ones that do a great job covering the whole entire field. There's plenty of great talented ones out there. Oh, a little door bang in there. Carrington yeeted Zach a little bit. The rubbers on Nick's tires look used, though. There you go. Are you trying to like get me to use some kind of like sexual innuendos or something? Is that what you're trying to do here? I mean, it's kind of hard for me to do. So Owens has caught the back of Josh Dillon here. And here's a good example. Jordan Owens, his 20 car, remember a couple laps ago, passed the leader to unlap himself. And look, he's up to the 7th position here, 18.5 seconds back. So you're getting these cars now that pitted late in this race. They're not going to get to the lead, but you could see Owens potentially finishing up here 4th somewhere. You could see, which, by the way, I think Ethier did pit somewhere, because for him to go to 114 and 11 to go right now is 188. That's 70. Well, no, it'd be 75 laps. So, yeah, I guess Ethier could stay out a little bit more and put on some rubbers, apparently. Nine laps to go. Mark Whitley on his way not only to a win, but pretty much locking up the championship here tonight at Richmond. A championship that, 5 weeks ago was merely a 1-point battle between him and Carrington. Well, unfortunately, Carrington's had some rough luck. You go back to last week's race, he tried the 2-tire strategy that absolutely haunted him. And he's had his struggles. I'll share this real quickly with you guys. When I was doing some radio in Lafayette, Indiana, we had a night show we called the Wazy All Stars, and we always had code words for stuff. So we always said on the air, anytime we had to go to the store and get Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew is a code word for adult beverages. And then we had code words for adult stuff, if you know what I mean. And we would always make the joke that would say, if you're going to play Twister, wear socks. If you break that down, you'll know exactly what that means. As Leo, Jordan Owens, Leo, and here comes Miles, all going to get past Ethier. How about Owens up to the 5th position now, 16 seconds back. Can Owens get to Heller? That'd be impressive. I mean, Miles is obviously going to get past Leo. Now, obviously, I will wait until next week to crown Whitley the champion on the air or whatever, but, I mean, this will pretty much lock it up for him, like I said. But talk about 2 different seasons. This man, I was actually talking to Carrington about it tonight. Last season shows up, or 2 seasons ago, and the man couldn't finish a race if he tried because he was just involved in wrecks left and right. People were hitting him, or he was messing up, or whatever. Things were just happening. And then he came out here this season, and the first couple races, a little rough. And he got to about race 3 or 4, and it just took off. White flag, final lap. I mean, as I look about it, right before Labor Day, Mark Whitley picked up a win. It was race number 3 of the season at Nashville. And he has just whooped the field ever since then. As he comes off turn 4, how about 8 wins for Mark Whitley, and likely a championship for Mark Whitley. A dominant effort here at Richmond. Wait a minute, somebody's trying to Hail Melon? Who did? I gotta find, who did this? Give me a second, I'm gonna have to go find, somebody pulled a Hail Melon somewhere. I'm going to find it. So here's Whitley coming off 4. I'm going to hit stop here in a second. I found out who it is. And it's kind of ironic that the Busch sponsorship goes to the Chastain car next season. Oh, yeah, do it in gear. There he goes. It did work because he clears the 46. I mean, he didn't gain nearly the time. And you know what? He was running that lap. He was 0.3 faster than everybody. So, hey, nice job, Van Pelt, I guess. All right, let's take a look at the results here. Whitley wins it by 3.7 seconds over Casey Carrington. Zach Henry third, Christopher Heller fourth, and Jordan Owens finishes fifth. Stephen Miles sixth. Nick Leo seventh. Josh Dillon eighth. Kyle Ethier ninth. Sean Cassidy 10th with Justin Ray 11th. Jake Vanowski 12th. Dylan Rosenberg 13th. Jackson Van Pelt 14th. Terry Freer 15th. Craig Martin, Thomas Stanley, Nick Terrell finishing 17th and 18th positions. Matthew Weeks, Mike Husby, James Silvers, Jonathan Smith in his debut tonight got DQ'd. Nice job, Mr. Pierce. And finishes in the last position tonight. Well, it's got him last, but I think actually it would be 20th. I'm not sure how that's all going to work itself out there. But either way, those three finished 20th, 21st, and 22nd in not exact order. As we'll go down and talk to our top three finishers here this evening. And I guess I'm going to have to get access back to Whitley's pay, or to, I don't know how. I must have left it accidentally or something. Brantley, send me a new update. Anyways, all right. Third place finisher tonight is Zachariah Henry. Finishing in third this evening, as I always interrupt him during conversation with Chris. Zach, nice job tonight on your third place finisher. Obviously, great fighting, great racing going on there towards the end. Almost a shot to win, but obviously still had a pretty good race there in the end, a third place finish.
Yeah, not too bad. This is one of my not only least favorite, but probably worst tracks. So I'll take a third. Need to figure out how to save tires, but that's not a this car. That's an every car around this place problem.
That's fair, but still put on a good show, and it looks like you and Casey are going to be coming down to the last race here, battling for that second position in points, as unfortunately it looks like Whitley's got this one locked in the bag for season 6. I say unfortunate for you guys, but needless to say, though, obviously a little bit of caution at the end opened up an opportunity. Your wife was in here watching and throwing some pretty funny jokes out. Somebody asked on stream if they had any jokes, so we actually turned our broadcast and everybody was doing jokes in chat. So I think she was enjoying it. But needless to say, man, great racing, and one last race to go here, obviously, as you get ready for Homestead coming up here next week. Any kind of goals that you'd like to get back to victory lane or something like that in the future?
I would like to win, but not going to every race wanting to win. If I can't win, I'd like to get another top 3 and just remain consistent. It's been kind of the theme of my season so far this season. Like to beat Casey, get second in the points. Ultimately, I just want to win the race. I love Homestead. It's always been a good, not great track for me. I've never actually driven in this car, so we'll find out if it's still a good to great track for me in this thing. But I don't know, it's a fun track. You can move around a little bit, and tire wear is a big deal there. So I always look forward to Homestead. Great place to race.
No, it was a lot of fun. A lot of slipping and sliding, kind of like you were doing tonight. I did want to ask you also, I noticed a lot of times the car just doing some four-wheel sliding there in the long runs. How much was that hurting you?
I mean, I guess a lot. I feel like everybody around me was, so I thought my issue was maybe I was just rolling the center of the corners too fast and just tearing up my right front, and then using too much throttle to kind of help it rotate when I did that. But then I'd sit there and watch everybody around me not only drive it into the corner deeper than I was, but also roll the center faster than I was, and then continue to be 2-3 tenths a second quicker than me on the long run. So like I said, that's just a normal thing for me. I mean, obviously slide all 4 tires like that hurts. It's not necessarily anything you ever want to do, but I just couldn't figure it out. I don't know what it is about this place. It's just this is just not my track.
Hey, you did a good job tonight, man. Started on pole and ran up
I don't
the
even
top
think
3.
I led a lap.
But no, unfortunately, you lost the lead by turn 1. But you did at least get out there and you ran well. Top 5 most of the night, if not all the night. and just continue to be consistent, which is, the best you can do on a track that maybe you don't like or at least race well at. So great job on that, and send some shout outs.
All right, I got to shout out my wife. I know she's watching, cheering me on, and participating in the comment section, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Chris, I always got to shout out Chris and my 2511 teammates, Brandon as well. Chris is actually really good around this place. He's started saying the last couple of weeks that maybe this car just doesn't quite fit his driving style, but if he wouldn't have had that penalty in that first caution and kind of get set back, he's really good around here and typically has some pretty good long run pace. Let's see, some family that I know is watching as well. Undercurrents for riding on the car. Haven't shot them out in a while. Casey for running the league does a great job, and look forward to racing him next week at Homestead for the second spot in the season standings. And then you for doing a great job on these broadcasts.
I appreciate it, man. Great job on your part as always, and appreciate the time as always, man.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too, buddy. As Zach Henry finishing in the third position, as I'm out here spamming people's discords now with the news about the subscribers and stuff. I did not think it would happen tonight, but it did. All right, let's get our second place finisher in here, and that being Casey Carrington, who, as we both know, watched at the time, his and I both favorite drivers, finished second 8 times before he finally won a race at this track in 05. But a little bit short tonight, but I think if we're going to lose to somebody, it would be the guy that's beat everyone's tail for this season.
Well, yeah, I'm not really racing him for points anymore, I don't guess. But yeah, the last track on my hit list that I wanted to win at was running the paint scheme and ran really well. I mean, I felt like I had the long run pace, the short run pace, after the first corner at least, where I'd almost wreck every restart. But had all that, and then I just ran into that buzzsaw Whitley. And yeah, that was pretty much that.
Obviously, some tight racing up front there. I noticed a couple times you and Henry almost got together. I know one time Mark locked him up, about got you, and just great short track.
Hell, he gave me 5 seconds of damage.
Did it really? I mean, it didn't look like you guys hit each other, but
yeah, I still had 3 seconds or so there at the end.
Jeez. Well, still, it was great racing for the most part, though, amongst each other.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for sending Henry up the track. I guess I did it twice. I hate racing like that. I know it's how you race these tracks, and I hate when it gets done to me, so I hate doing it to other people. And
right.
That's twice now that I've gotten together with Henry this season, and I've benefited from it. So I hate having that kind of stuff. I feel like it's going to come back around to get me, but then I don't want it to come back and get me. So it's like that's kind of the thing I had with Weeks a season or two ago, where it was like I kept getting the longer end of the stick or whatever, but I didn't want to way over and let it even out. So. But yeah, I mean, it was good racing. I mean, it's a really fun car track combo, just like last week. It's just so hard to pass. And it's one of those things just like Iowa, people hate racing Iowa, but yet you watch an Iowa broadcast and it's always such a good racing because you can't pass. Mm-hmm. You run side by side for 10 laps, and the night was like that a little bit. And it was a fun combo. I feel like it's exactly what the Gen 4 car should be. I mean, it was kind of woos as the run went on. And yeah, I mean, I know obviously we had a lot of attrition tonight, and it probably got really strung out there at the end. But it was fun from inside the car. I don't know what it was like from the broadcast booth.
Oh, we had an all different types of environment of entertainment tonight on our end. So trust me. Well, put it like this: somebody asked a question over in the race about jokes tonight, and let's put it like this: we opened up the joke line, if you know what I mean. So.
Well, I mean, so did some of the drivers there in the middle third of the race, but. Hold on. We don't have it.
Wow. Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah. So and I guess I'll go ahead and throw it out there to you guys. It was the night of the 10th of November that we hit 1,000 subscribers in the middle of your race.
Thank God we did it in the middle of your race, or in the middle of
your race.
Our
What
race.
My race?
Yeah. But I mean, I was hoping we would do it. I was. A few weeks ago you were still like 20 or so off, and I was like, all right, hang on, maybe I'll go and unsubscribe. So
I've been 20 off for like a year and a half.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it'll hang on till February and we can get it to Daytona for him. But hey, congratulations though on getting that I know you've been wanting it for the last year or so, and
Yeah, right.
I know that there was a lot. Hey, kind of like Kane with the getting that first win. You know, you were able to break through here at Richmond and get something that's been a long time coming, and legitimately one of the best broadcasters on iRacing. I really don't know of anybody better, especially when you consider that you do a one man show. And yeah, instead of doing shout outs and all that tonight, I just want to shout out you for everything with Captain Esports Network. You've been the best broadcast partner I've seen with any league I've ever raced in, and yeah, I don't know. I might have shut the league down back in the summer last year if you didn't come on board with us. So you saved the league, and I guess that means tonight's race was your fault. So I'll blame you for that
Well,
misery there for that middle third of the race.
I have to give the shout out to Steve Tucker, whoever he is. I mean, he comes in there. I don't think I've ever spoken with the guy before, but went out there and started getting people to join. So,
Oh, so he was the guy that bought the bots.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I told him it better not be, but you know, who knows? But no, it's cool to be a part of the league and to see somebody who puts so much effort in. And I've said this to you to your face, and I'll say it out loud to put all the effort you do to run this league. And I think you see how grateful the drivers that are still here. Unfortunately, yes, some have walked away, but the ones that are still here, I think you see are the ones who appreciate what you do and all the hard work and even the viewers and stuff like that. So obviously, shout out to you on that. But yeah, no, it's a cool feeling, and I'm losing my train of thought. But
Well,
yeah,
let's
that's what
quit
it
ass
is.
kissing here and get Willie in here for his 20-minute post race.
You know, nice.
But I guess I'll do shout out
Go
to
ahead.
Joseph for doing race control. He's super busy now, and obviously it's kind of a strain on him to even be able to show up here. So I'm glad. But hey, the last 2 weeks he's really been needed, which kind of was going against the narrative that we'd had this whole season that he kind of wasn't really necessary anymore. But hell, maybe if maybe he is necessary moving forward. But no, big shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that watches, man. I love you guys that watch the broadcast. We get really good viewership. Hell, I think we're the highest viewed series on
Yeah, that's.
Captain
I
Sports
mean,
Network. So, and I mean, hey, if you guys can sit through a boring ass race like that tonight, then you know, I appreciate you guys more than almost as much as, or if not more than the guys that show up and race, because you viewers don't wreck me. So,
well,
but
we
yeah, anyway,
could.
shout out to all my team, CX2. Shout out to Willie. I think he clinched the seasonal championship tonight. I guess the yearly title is going to go down to the wire with me and Heller. Weeks he had bad luck tonight, which what's new for him? That champion's curse we talk about. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, shout out to all those guys. Shout out to everybody that shows up to race. Like yeah, like we said, you know, 70 members, and we're down kind of having average iRacing League car counts now, which of course I want to be all negative about and complain, but like I said, that's about average. I mean, we spent the last 2.5 years being one of, if not the largest week in iRacing in terms of car count on a weekly basis. So you know, as the holiday season kind of gets ticking on. I mean, I guess if you're Chris Scala and you're working delivering packages to single moms and stuff like that, that it's you know, getting busier. High school football, the stuff we talked about, but you know, I appreciate the guys that do come out. I do appreciate the guys that show up that skip, you know, watching a bunch of high schoolers play football or watch a bunch of men in tights jump off the top rope on SmackDown or whatever. And yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get Willie in here because I'm running out of breath. And I'm sweating. I've been sweating since like that third caution. So
It's funny. He says we get Willie in here to talk for 20 minutes in case he goes in and covers the 20 minutes for us.
yeah,
No, but great job, man. Appreciate it.
thank you. Thanks to everybody watching. Like I said,
All right, sounds good, bud.
See ya.
You too.
See ya.
I was waiting on that. Casey Carrington finishing second, and yeah, I was starting to say I lost my train of thought with everything going on, but it's funny that, like I said, the first I've been on for 3 years now. Yeah, back for 3 years, I should say. And when I got on YouTube, I went from 0 to like 600 real quick. I mean, like Drake, real quick. Then it went from like 6 to 800, took like a year. And then from like almost 800 to now took almost a year and a half. It felt like it literally got to the point where I'm like, damn, am I stale as hell here, or what's going on? But anywho, yeah, let's go talk to our winner, shall we? He's probably waiting to like talk. He's probably already on his like 5th bowl of pasta waiting on us or something. But this says in victory lane here tonight, Mr. Whitley. Obviously, looks like the championship is clinched, but I'm going to hold off on that conversation until next week. But tonight, you get yourself your 8th win of the season. Pretty dominant effort here at Richmond, which a couple birdies have told me is your best track.
It's probably, I would say second best. Probably second best, but very close second. But yes, tonight went about as perfect as you could have imagined, other than me stopping before my pit stall the first time I came to pit road. That's the only thing we did all night that was a boo-boo. And thankfully, the boo-boo wasn't really, we were able to rectify it on the track and make up for it. And, I know Casey probably wasn't too happy with the amount of cautions we had, but in my experience, I think we had a pretty decent race here for Richmond, especially to finish it off. You love getting a green flag but green flag run at the end like that. We had a green flag pit stops and everything. So, all in all, for me, it was really great. Seemed like we were really, really good on the short run. The middle part of the run seemed like Zach was probably a little bit faster than us, but then after we got, through the middle part of the run, the end part of the run, we were faster than him. I think Casey maybe been a little bit faster on the long run, but we were able to get a good enough gap there at the beginning part of the run to, where it didn't really matter too much for us. Hats off to him for the championship. I mean, he's made me go above and beyond, and I don't think it's quite clinched yet, but I think it's more or less just as long as I start. But I mean, there was a time there where I'd won like 4 in a row, and he was still in front of me in points. Where he's just, he's Mr. Consistency. I mean, just wearing you out with top 5s, top
Right.
2s. I mean, he is. I mean, he has been so close to having the same number of wins as I do. I mean, and it could easily be him with 8 wins instead of me. So, hats off to him. Hell of a competitor. It's been a hell of a run throughout the whole season. He's kept me honest. He's kept me in a fire lit under me. And then tonight, him and Zach were the 2 to beat. It was just a hell of a race. Can't say enough thanks to my spotter, Brantley. Keep me informed, keep me out of trouble, and then, keep me, let me know what my competitor's doing. I was really worried there on that long green flag run that we pit early and get caught a lap down, and then, that would have thrown our whole race away. But thankfully, we were able to pit a couple laps after them guys. Had to pass Zach back, but that was didn't take too long. The tire difference really, kind of wasn't fair. I thought for a couple laps there I might be in trouble because dirty air can play havoc on a race car. So thankfully we were able to get back by him relatively quickly. I mean, it took me. I had to work him over a little bit. I mean, he's no slouch. So I had to really earn my keep on that one. I know he runs the number 39. Just like Ryan Newman, he can be kind of difficult to pass sometimes. So
tougher to pass than a kidney stone.
Yeah. So. Hats off to everybody. This season's been a great season. I know there's been ups and downs, especially for me. The whole year of this race, like I said, it went almost perfectly. The last half of the race went perfectly, and Casey, I can't say enough about him, the way he runs this league. Really appreciate being here, and hopefully he can come next year. And if I do win the championship, hopefully I can come out here and try to defend it for next season.
Well, you're going to have a tough challenge doing that because, as we've seen the last 2 seasons, at least since I've been here, the champion has not done so well the next season. So,
I know a lot of leagues that way. There's always seems to be a championship curse or championship slump. So hopefully maybe we can break that. I felt maybe we got our slump out of the way last season because last season I felt like we couldn't do anything right and we just were stepping on our own feet. So. Hopefully, like I said, I'm not gonna count my chickens yet. I think I still have to at least start next week, so you never know, shit could happen.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Stuff.
All right, you just lost 25 points. Good job, Dale Jr.
But it's fun to come out here and race with these guys on Friday nights. I know season's been long. We're getting down here to the end of the year, end of the season. So looking forward to next week. Homestead's another one of my. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite tracks. It's just fun to run. There's so many different lines you can run there, especially with this car, the power it's got. You can rim ride like Kyle Larson. You could, bottom feed as much as you want. I mean, you can pretty much run wherever you want to. So I think next week you'll definitely see a lot more diversity of lines and stuff. Like tonight, it was maybe a line and a half. Like you could kind of turn in early and like just hug the bottom, or you could kind of take a wider arc and kind of diamond the corner off. So it wasn't even really 2 different lines. It was just kind of like a line and a half. You could run. It made it a little bit different, but next week it's definitely going to be. I mean, you could see 5 different lines from the top 5 on lap 1. So, it's going to be interesting. I think should be a fun show for all the fans, and should be fun to go out there and race it.
Well, great job tonight, man, and congratulations. Looking forward to Homestead next week, and send some shouts whoever you like to.
Like I said before, huge shout out to Brantley, man. He's does awesome work, not just paint jobs, but spotting for me every time he gets a chance. He's been my spotter, my sponsor, my spotter, my my eye in the sky up there for the last over a year now, and I really appreciate him being on board and doing all he does for the paint schemes and then spotting. Hats off to him. Check him out at harpoondesign.com. Dude does amazing work. Or if you just want to check out some of his other work that he's already put tons of hours into, he's got almost 2,000 paints on Trading Paint. So check him out over there too. Another shout out to my teammate John. I know he had kind of a rough night. I think he's been having a little bit of internet issues, and I think that was probably the cause of that first incident he was in. And second one, he just overdrove, like just missed the corner a little bit, and unfortunately, 2 strikes and you're out. Hopefully he can rebound maybe next week. Homestead's kind of more of his forte, with the different lines and stuff. So we'll see him come back out here, hopefully. And then shout out to you putting on a great broadcast. Should be fun to go back and watch.
Hopefully
it'll be a little bit less stressful.
It's going to be a little different tonight.
I know the last 10 laps there, I felt like I had a death grip on that wheel because I was just praying there wouldn't be a yellow because I was just wanting to get back. That last 2 to go coming to the white flag, I was hustling that thing around there. But, I guess final shout out to my family tuning in to broadcast races. I don't know if they're watching live or they're going to come back later. I know my granddad's been in the hospital last week and a half. I think he's finally getting out and doing some rehab stuff.
Awesome.
So
okay.
Hopefully, he continues on the road to recovery. It's great news, especially in the holidays. He always thinking of family first. So I'm really glad to hear he's been doing better. And I guess shout out to the league. I know we had a couple cautions, but for a Richmond race, it was a hell of a group. All the competitors out here are top notch, and can't wait for next week and next season.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations. And obviously, we'll wait till next week, obviously, to do all the championship stuff and go at that point. But go enjoy the race tonight, enjoy the weekend, and enjoy what you're about to hear.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Mark Whitley going to victory lane here tonight, the 8th time in the 13 starts here this season. Obviously, if you do the math, it's at least more than 50%. So ask me how I know. Anyways, congrats to him on that. So, wow. What a weird night this has become. It's kind of weird. Like, I go on the air and I sit there and I think to myself, okay, obviously I'll get the viewers that I usually have. I'll be able to call the race like I usually do. And of course I feel bad, that, I know Casey wants numbers more than 22 showing up for a race. And I know deep down inside he's grateful for it, but as always, as somebody that runs a league, you want more. And I totally understand that. So I had that going in my head. And then we get in here and you get all these viewers watching, and then we get these other people showing up, and 1,000 didn't even cross my mind tonight, like, at all. Like, I knew I was at 987 or wherever I was at that point, 991, something like that. And, I knew I would get there eventually, but it was like, I'm not going to really even push it. Just keep doing my thing, have fun, call league races, stuff like that. And all of a sudden, mid-race, bam, we hit 1,000. It's like, what just happened? That's blown my mind, and I'm so grateful for that right now. It's so cool. But thanks to All American, the Cup Series, honestly, Casey, for allowing me to be here these last 3 Friday seasons, I should say, to be a part of all this. And I know there's been nights where I haven't been here, but next week, if I knock on wood, I'm doing it right here if you can hear it. If I can make next Friday, which should not be an issue because of my job now, will be the first full season I've done live. So let's hope we can finish it off with a bang coming up next Friday night. So see you at Homestead there for that race. Otherwise, not on again until Monday. So, but appreciate all the viewers. Where's he at? Turner. Appreciate you for going out there and whatever you did to get me the viewers. That was cool. Appreciate that. Hope you guys can continue showing up all the weeks when I'm on the air. Brantley, I need to get your Discord access again. Roger, and all you guys for watching tonight. Techno Wizard, obviously Mrs. Henry, Mrs. Heller, any other misses I missed. So it's definitely cool. So I'll be back on Monday for another broadcast, and cheers to another wherever I'm now, whatever I'm at now, minus whatever to get to 2,000. Let's go there next, right? So this is just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work